Check 1, 2. Yeah. Did that work? Whew. All right. So I've been blabbing for like 15 minutes and you guys haven't heard a fucking word of it. This is why I did a test show. Okay, I'll start over again. So, all right. So let's start at the beginning. So I left last weekend or this past weekend to go to Sundance in Park City, Utah. My audio's been off for like 5 fucking minutes. So I left from here to go to Park City, Utah, and I was supposed to leave Sunday morning to be back in Detroit sometime in the afternoon, early evening on Sunday. And that storm like came together, and Delta asked me like 3 times a day, maybe twice a day. Delta was like, you should push your flight. We'll give you some options. And I said no to it. And so what happened? Okay, so I'm getting the peer pressure from Delta, and I'm watching the storm miss Georgia, kind of miss Georgia. It's like pushing higher. And I'm like, shit, that's a crash course for Michigan. And if it didn't stop, I figured it would be like Armageddon or something. So I think like Saturday night or early Sunday morning, I accepted the, in case I was canceled, I accepted to book my flight, which I did. And I wish I hadn't, because my flight made it through before they closed down all these flights in Detroit. There was this small window, and I was in it, and I got scared, and I bent to peer pressure. And then what happened was there was a series of flight cancellations. Like, flights were like canceled thereafter, like 1, 2 in a row. And then, I missed a few parts of this. Like, so Detroit, Park City, Sundance is very expensive. To stay there if you get delayed, that kind of stuff. And then the trip is like an hour to Salt Lake City, blah, 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 blah. So I wound up getting caught in that fucking storm. I was in limbo for, I don't know, from like Sunday morning until I didn't get back in Detroit until 1:30 last night, in the middle of the night. Very late. And then I get home, and I haven't seen my children, my dogs. My oldest is taking care of my youngest, and it's like Armageddon. It is like Armageddon here. Streets are closed. There's water main breaks. There's a ton of snow here. They haven't plowed most streets. It looked like last night they plowed the main thoroughfares, which is kind of nice. It was extremely cold here too. My kids were out of school. They shut down my kids' school, though they did open them this morning. But I didn't get to sleep until, I don't know, 5, 6 this morning. I've been trying to get here for, I think, 48 hours to Detroit, caught in that like winter blast, Armageddon, Snowmageddon, or whatever. So I'm finally back, and I just woke up. I finally went to bed this morning, and then I woke back up and took care of my children for school, and then went back to sleep. And I'm just getting back into it right now. It's been hellacious. It's been nothing but pure hell. I will say this though. I've never canceled, or I've never like bumped myself from a flight. Don't ever do that. I've never done it. I shouldn't have done it on Sunday. The moment I did that, it just cascaded. And even the people that were on my flight were all like bumped or canceled flights. It was kind of sucky. So, but anyways, the Odyssey is done finally. I'm here, and I apologize for being gone, or for the weather delay for me getting back here for you guys. And it got even crazier. Like, I couldn't afford. Not that I couldn't afford. I didn't want to pay the money that it costs to stay in Park City. So then I went and stayed at a friend's house that was out in the mountains, middle of nowhere, no internet, no no, or I didn't have any cell service. My wife did, but because I had T-Mobile and she's got Verizon, so I had no coverage. She had coverage. I had like ATT. I think I have like ATT coverage or something like that. So it was a fucking disaster. At any rate, I'm back. I'm in my office. I'm home. The kids are great and everything is good here. How are you guys all doing? It's been a weird weekend, huh? I did see some of the news over the weekend. I know that the internet is very upset right now with some stuff that doesn't have to do with the stock market, or maybe it does. Did you guys all have a good weekend or what? You guys doing well? Yeah, dude. So I was on a mission to get back to Detroit. It's been like a 48-hour odyssey to get here, and then I didn't get until really late last night. And then it was like 1:30 in the morning. I get home, see the kids, dogs, clean the house, all that other shit, unpack all my shit, to do laundry, the normal stuff that you have to do. So it's been nothing but a nightmare. Uh, nothing less than a nightmare. I got some rules now though. Don't ever take the offer to push your flights. Just stay in your flight. If they do cancel you, like make them put you in a hotel, that kind of stuff, and get you on the next available flight and that kind of stuff. It turned into a total fucking shit show. Are you guys all doing well out there? Yeah, it was Snowmageddon. Yeah. Someone crashed into the airport too. Like, dude, someone crashed into the airport just after I left. I got crazy stories for you guys. Like, my whole weekend was fucking pure insanity. I'm in Sundance, and I met some really cool people. A few things out of the way. I met some really cool people in Sundance. What's the top line stuff? I was able to meet a bunch of cool people there. Did the business that I needed to do in Park City. I went there with a little bit of bittersweetness too, because I have a lot of experience with Sundance, and I left saying good riddance to Sundance. And don't let the door hit you or the good Lord split you, I guess. What else happened? I was at High West Distillery. One of my boys is like a big time guy there, and I was there when that shit went down out there. There was a skier, and he skied down the backside of Park Ave. If any of you guys know about skiing down the backside into the Park Avenue, he like snuck over the fence. He went into a bathroom. I know the whole fucking thing. Like, he went into the bathroom and he started saying really nasty shit, and everyone thought he was on drugs, and he was freaking people out before he even before he started attacking people. He didn't just attack that Senator Maxwell Frost. He attacked another African American or person of color, a female, outside of that bathroom too. So he attacked two people. I don't know if that's come out in the news yet or not. And it was a really fucked up situation. What else happened in Park City? I got the first night, I had tickets to two shows, one on Friday and one on Saturday. And the fire department closed down the venue, big concerts, right? And that's the largest venue in Park City. And because I think it might have been, I think years ago, I had always heard that the fire marshal didn't like Sundance, or maybe the venues not complying with the fire marshal's orders before Sundance. It was always a point of contention. And maybe because it was the last one in Park City, the fire marshal was extremely a stickler. But not only that, we just had that big fire in Europe at a ski resort. So he did shut down this venue for a fire thing. Now, the public answer is not really why that venue was shut down. I know all these people. Like, I know, you wouldn't believe who I know out there. The reason why that big venue, if you know about this, why that venue shut down, it was because the owner of the building was told that he needed to install a shutoff for the music if the fire alarm goes off. So it's like an auto thing. Like, they bring the lights up, they get on the microphone, they tell everybody to leave, and it's supposed to be an automatic turn the lights up and turn the music down or something. Regardless, it's like an auto thing. You don't have a choice. And they left it manual, so they shut them down. So that big venue was closed at nighttime. So now you've got like 1,200 people roaming around looking for something to do. And this is Utah, where if you don't have a permit for something after 1 a.m., there's nowhere to go. They roll up the sidewalks in Utah due to the liquor laws. So the first night on Friday, they shut that first venue down. Those people had nowhere to go. Went out to Tao, and I was on the list for Tao. I had an extra wristband. I had one wristband, and I needed two more. And they were letting nobody in. It was like they had two sets of security. One set of security was the enforcer, and one was, you can get in here, you're on the list, here's your wristband, all that kind of stuff. And so Tau normally doesn't go to capacity until later in the evening. Normally, you'll get you normally can show up at, like, even if you're not on the list, you can normally get in at like 1, 2 in the morning. So like Friday night, I showed up there kind of late, not knowing that everyone was going to herd over to Tau, and they had not only had they stopped taking people in. At some point, they said they were going to shut it down. People were like, as people were leaving, they were not letting people in one for one, and the one set of security guards ended up just leaving, and they left behind the ones to keep everybody out. So Tau was kind of a bust at 1 a.m., 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. So the next day, with that same concert hall being closed, we figured out a new plan and had a kick-ass time. Met a bunch of new people, had a big party, went to a like house party, and then had one back at the condo that we were at, which was really nice. So we did all that on Saturday, and then Sunday. By Sunday, I was like, there was one other thing too. I went to the Park City, or the official Sundance store, and none of the merch that they had Park City on it. So someone made that decision. It was kind of annoying. You know, there was nothing was like last Sundance in Park City, and there was no other Sundance merch allowed on Main Street. So it was kind of bullshit. So I was a little happy to see. I'm happy to see Sundance leave. I don't know if it's outgrown Park City or Park City has outgrown Sundance. The thing that bothered me the most was what the essence of Sundance is gone for me, at least. It's more of like it's a touristy thing now. It's not necessarily the small, quaint thing that it once was. Maybe it'll recapture that in Boulder or something like that. Now, when I was gone over the weekend, also, I know that the world is on fire too, right? Outside of the stock market, I know a lot's going on. And people are upset. They're with ICE and all that other kind of stuff. I'm very highly aware of that stuff going on out there. So I'm back in the office now. I just got here, or kind of just got here. I've been sleeping too. So I'm here. How are you guys? You guys all doing well? Oh, you did see my picture on Twitter last night? Yeah, I posted it for like an hour or two, just so you guys could see me get into town and how fucked up I looked. Try the travel look. Wasn't looking too hot coming into Detroit last night. Yeah, it's been kind of crazy. So let's go over the market really quick if you want. I'm here now. Back. We have a lot going on. We do have a Fed rate decision tomorrow on Wednesday. Here, let me just check the Discord really quick. Maybe I should post a link inside the. Let me just check the Discord. They're saying, "Hey, how are you guys all doing?" Thanks for the mic. The microphone was busted, but I fixed it. I fixed it. How you doing, David? Good to see you, brother. We got something to talk about, guys. I don't know when we're going to talk about this. We're going to go over the market right now to get you squared away for tomorrow. David, good to see you, my brother. We're going to go over the market for tomorrow, but we have to have a conversation. I spent some time last year and some time over the holidays, like Christmas, New Year's, intentionally trying to get information from people. And when I was in Park City for this weekend, this was a business trip for me, and also an opportunity to meet people that I wanted to know what their thoughts were on some overarching larger things related to artificial intelligence. And through my meetings and then asking other people their thoughts and discussions I had over that weekend, all discussions were on the impacts on the market, the impacts on our life. And so we're not going to talk about that tonight, but I think maybe if we have time, we should do some kind of maybe a private stream or something on this topic. And I think a lot of this stuff is also reaching into a lot of the things you're encountering out there, whether you are pro or against those things. I don't think it matters. It's very glaring right now, and we probably need to have that conversation. But we're not going to have it at this moment. Maybe if I can get through the market right now, maybe we can talk about it. But I would prefer to line up all the information that I have and find out from you what you think about this stuff. A more greater overarching thing happening in the background of the markets, or that it can have a large impact in the market. Should this be a private stream? I think that conversation may need to be a private stream. I need to at least write it out first and have some bullet points so we can make our way through it without getting off on any tangents. But we need to talk about it, and I don't want to. I think that might be the most important conversation we can have this year. I don't think there's a more important one out there right now. But it's not for right now. So let's talk about a few things here. Let's talk about what we have to look forward to this week. So tomorrow, on Wednesday, the 28th, today's the 27th. On tomorrow, the 28th, we have the Fed interest rate decision between 2 and 2:30 p.m. We do this. This is one of our biggest shows of the quarter. Every quarter, we do one of these. If you want to take a look with me down here, I've heard oh, there's my camera out again. Let's check my camera really quick. Giving up my I haven't been through my I haven't been through every layout that I have to see if they work, but what I tend to do is I tend to check the 3 and 6 month tight here. It's the 3-month yield right here. I like to take a look at it and see what's going on. This is the 3-month yield, and also the 6-month yield. Let's take a look at this one. This one's kind of curling up right now. This is I'm looking at the 6-month yield here, and the reason I check these is to sometimes we can gain some insight into whether we're going to get a rate hike or a rate cut or something more flattish in the market. So we're going to talk briefly about the Fed rate decision, and let me see if I can bring this up for you really quick here. Let me make a blank layout, maybe. Hang tight here. I don't want to have to do this again. Let's make a blank. No, I don't want blank. I want to make a new one. Create a new layout. Fed rate decision. Okay, and we're gonna. Is this the 6-month? Awesome. What we're gonna do here is, we are also going to bring up inflation. Or maybe I can do this with I can do this with something else here. All the macro you need. Think. Is it all the macro you need? All the macro you need. Right there. This might work. This might help us with this. Remove 17 drawings. We don't need any drawings. We want to look at specifically. Let's have a look. This is the Fed funds rate right here. Maybe I can bring this up and up and up. Can I bring this one up maybe? Bring that one up right here. And what I want to talk to you about here is this is the. So make sure I got this right here. Yep, this is the rate of inflation. So I'm going to draw these in for you right now. This is the Fed, or let's call this rates. Okay, I'm going to keep it really simple. This is rates. This right here is the unemployment rate. We'll just do UE. So this is unemployment. And this right here is inflation. And I think the reason why I want to bring these up for you right now is because inflation historically should be bottoming soon. Larry Williams brought this up in his year outlook that he sees the rate of inflation bottoming by this summer, let's call it. And it should mark a historical low in inflation and then start ramping. Or even right now, like spring. So basically, his forecast is like this. Now, you got to remember something here, that inflation, the inflation cycles typically go something like this. It's very abnormal to go into such a huge disinflationary period. That's an abnormality. This is 2008 that I'm showing you right now. But normally it trends like this. You see it kind of like in this trend right here. Nice, simple trend. You can see it right here. And Larry Williams is saying that he thinks that with this rise here, if you look at this, let me see if I can bring this, I don't know if I can bring this any closer, but there's an inflation low right here, an inflation low right here. I don't know if I can, maybe I'll just delete all this and make it a little bit larger. Hold on. I know you guys may not be able to see this on your phone. See if I can bring this up a little bit. We'll come back to the unemployment rate in a minute. We're just going to look at inflation right now. And you've got this downtrend in inflation. And then we have an uptrend starting inflation here. And his argument is that you're going to see some kind of bottom in inflation and then a ramp higher. In a bear raid, in this part, there's some parts of inflation where it's okay to have inflation running higher, and before it's bad for markets. But his argument is that we're going to bounce at some point in here and start moving higher this year. And so when you see the White House pressing for more cuts, that's the reason they want more cuts right now, is they're not going to have an opportunity to cut by spring or summer. So cut, right? That's the mantra. And of course, we're coming into this rate cut decision with everyone saying you're not getting a cut. You're not going to get a cut. You're not going to get a cut. They're going to have to save the cuts for when things are for the bad times, as unemployment rises. And you can see unemployment here beginning to, or, well, not really beginning. It's on its normal trend higher up here. You just see it right there. It is trending higher. It's not above 4.5 just yet. It's not at 5 or 6. Like 4.5 and lower is full employment. It's the norm. And the idea being that we will save these cuts for an unemployment spike. So you have to have that choice. The choice, you got run it hot, or you save the cuts in case we get some kind of a rip in inflation. And if employment starts ramping to the upside, you would then raise rates, of course, amplify unemployment, and then save the rest of those cuts. And right now, the White House is saying, no, don't wait for that. We're going to go into a cycle of hiking soon on inflation, right? You'll have a rate hikes into this inflation at some point. We wouldn't have been able to have used our rate cuts. And now we're up here where we can't cut rates until the unemployment's all fucked up. So there's an argument right now that we should continue to cut to party longer. Basically, the White House says, hey, we've got cuts we can do. We can run the economy hot. We'll have inflation ramp up anyway. Like, inflation is going to ramp regardless. We might as well juice it while we can. So I don't know where you fall on that spectrum of should we cut, should we not cut. And I know that the market is pricing in, or the market is saying that we're not going to get a rate cut on this decision. I will only say this. I don't think that you're going to have many windows to cut as we move forward from here. If inflation begins to ramp its ugly face, and the cuts will, of course, create that inflation too. But there's an idea here that like there are participants in the market that seem to believe that we have no impact on inflation. It just naturally rises and falls. So we might as well ride the train while we can, or abuse it or something like that. There are past Fed chairs that say we don't think we actually have any impact on this. We think that we have more of an impact on sentiment with traders and investors than using our actual tools, and that our tools may or may amplify things, but don't necessarily change the outcome. That's the inflation would still ramp whether we did or we didn't. So why not juice it a little bit, and also hammer down unemployment a little bit as well with a rate cut. So for me tomorrow with unemployment, if you want an expectation out of me, I would say this: even though everyone's saying the Fed's going to pause rate cuts, I think you have a small window for rate cuts. I would look at it a different way. You have from now, maybe into spring or early summer to even get another rate cut. If we were going to do this the right way, where we go back to the norm, we wouldn't cut rates tomorrow. Excuse me. We would not cut rates tomorrow. Right now, we're at 3.72 on rates. Somewhere, if the fact that we're not already cutting down here to 0 is kind of nice. We've lived in a life of QE since 2007, 2008. And it's been a whipsaw the entire time, right? Like print. So it's kind of, if we don't cut rates tomorrow, I think it's overall better judgment. Although I think if they do decide to cut tomorrow, I wouldn't be shocked. If you got 25 basis points tomorrow, I actually wouldn't be shocked. If they decide to cut into this expected inflationary period in the spring and summertime of 2026. So I'm either on pause or cut. And I don't think you have many cuts left. I think you can cut another 25, maybe another 50 between now and spring or summertime. It would be reasonable to not get a cut tomorrow, but I think you at least have one or two more in this window is my point. So no cuts tomorrow or 25 BPS. You're probably going to get a mix of 25 to 50 between now and spring or summer. Do they need to do that right now today? Probably not. Is there any need for a cut tomorrow? No. Why not save them? We already know about seasonal weakness. You could throw a cut out there in like March or something. Throw one more cut out for a summer bump, or another cut maybe in the fall if the market begins to wobble or anything like that. So if we got one or two cuts left, maybe that's the idea behind pausing. I wouldn't look too much into the pause. And the market seems to be taking the idea that we're not getting a cut tomorrow well at this point. The market's happy with that. The bond market's happy-ish. There's problems in the bond market. We know Besant is giving lip service job owning right now with the U.S. dollar and Japanese rates and all that other shit that's going on. We're gonna have a whole other conversation about that stuff. We already have had those conversations, but we got to talk about them. But the market seems to be happy right now with the idea of no more cuts. The bond market seems to be happy if there's no more cuts. This is still kind of the Goldilocks zone. If you're looking at this stuff like rates, inflation, we're still in the Goldilocks zone. GDP looks good right now. Everything looks good. And I got to say something to you guys. I was out when I missed my flight, right? When I couldn't get to Detroit. You know what was fascinating was I was able to drive around Utah. And for those out there that say that there's a recession, we just don't talk about it or something, or the economy is horrible and all this other nonsense, I'll tell you what, no one's told Utah that. It looks a little bit like 2007. I saw developments for golf courses that shouldn't be in a high mountain desert. I saw some guys building a surf park in the middle of Tooele, Utah, which is insano. It's like 4 or 5 water parks. And I'm like, why are we doing this? This is insane, you know? But it shows that the economy is good. I saw huge developments going in Utah in places where there shouldn't be developments. So this speaks to the fact that if you're looking at the Fed funds rate, the unemployment rate, the inflation rate as it currently is, the economy is good. GDP is good right now. So I would suspect no cut tomorrow, and that they would save them if they're gonna use those extra cuts they have before inflation rears its head. I would expect that they maybe save them for seasonal weakness. And your best time for that, of course, is going to be what, March maybe, and maybe April, May, June. So somewhere in that area for that nice summer bump before we get into the summer doldrums. So no cut tomorrow seems responsible. The market is responding well to it. We're going to take a look real quick at a few things. So we looked at this. We also look just quickly looking at the 6-month rate right here. This is not showing any kind of cut right now. It's just nice and flat. It's at 3.63%. It looked like it was down, and then it's climbed back up in expectation of no cuts tomorrow. So I'm not expecting anything there. Let's look at back over here really quick. In gamma here. So we're in gamma right now. Is this SPX? For 1 hour here. We're going to look at where the gamma flip is, 6945. Tighter, guys. Expectations for tomorrow, no cut. I would give your highest percentage no cut. Your next highest percentage is a small cut, 25 BPS. There is support is slightly higher than that. It's at 69.50. This is where support is. We'll make this one green. This is where support is. This is where the gamma flip is. 7,000 is a huge no-go bar. Well, not really huge. We got to talk about this. Not really huge. We'll talk about this too. I'm going to explain this to you here in just a minute. We had gamma change last week. Let me bring this over. So this here, this 7,000 wall came down. This is 7,000. This came down. And then it came back again. With the expiry on OPEX, this wall on 7,000 came down, but it's back again into month end. So, of course, now it's back again, right? And it's a wall. Once again, it's a wall. But interestingly, when we get past month end, we have more of that 7,000 call wall expiring. Just like we did on OPEX, we've got another round of it expiring on month end. If that's the case, and we can get above 7,000, if this wall comes down, Again, let's say this expires. There's then another opportunity to trade higher after first of the month to actually go up and start tagging out these higher targets. 705 and 7100 would then become the wall. So we still want to look at 7,000 as a wall. You shall not pass. And we'll say for now that after the first, theoretically, we don't know yet. We don't know what the role is going to be. We don't know what the positioning will be after the first, what comes into the market. But we do know that if this stuff here expires, this 7,000 expires, and if people are more excited, they might be willing to not roll their calls to 7,000 again. Hopefully they fucking don't. And they start rolling to 705 and 710. And if they can do that, then this wall goes away and we can actually get up here and actually start trading higher in the month of February or March. Wouldn't that be nice to break out and away in this upcoming month? So what we'll do is we'll put these two up here. Snap a line right here at 705. And we're going to snap a wall up here at 710. This is the target. You guys know we're going to trade 720, right? 720, 715, somewhere in there. Our biggest problem getting there right now is seasonality. Of course, everyone wants to keep their shit in the money. And then the second problem we have is all these fucking buyers from October, late October, early November that were rolling their shit that needs to expire. And so we're stuck on this 7,000 right now. And we also, if it was like the bullish time of the year, we probably would not be running into these issues. We're gonna make this one right here red. Make that red. And we'll say something here. We'll write this in here. You shall not pass. Can potentially pass near after end of month. EOM. The only other way we pass above before then would be some kind of something we don't know. Unknown that's huge volatility for the bulls. Outside, and that would mean that we're pushing where our dealers are chasing because everyone's just like, oh my god, we got to go to the moon right now. I don't know, we're farting rainbows out of our asses. Something's amazing that we have not priced in yet. So until then, I don't see us like breaking out here, and I don't personally see us breaking out here and going vertical until near the end of the month or thereafter the end of the month at this point. So we've got that going on with, so this is your gamma for right now. I will also show you one more thing in this gamma stuff. Here's your support. Here's your gamma flip. You would expect for 6,900 to hold. This would be your second buy the dip right here. So your first buy the dip is 69.50. And then we've got 680.50 and 6,800. Bottom of market is 6,800 currently for hedging concerns. This is what the bottom of the put market is right here. Theoretically, this right here. Come on down, come on down, come on down, come on down. Bottom of options market. $68.50 is another dip buy right here, but if you trade $68.50, I'd be trying to get a little bit lower. Excuse my coughing here. Man, between like the working my balls off and the all right, speed bump in here. Working my ass off, and then the mountain, the speed bump, bottom of market, support. So here's your support right here. So you can see it. Your support is right here and right here. If that is lost, you would be waiting. I would be waiting for somewhere down here, personally. But I'll post this for you in the Discord. You shall not pass. Can potentially pass near or after end of month, or unknown positive news. I'll post this for you in the Discord. We got a whole bunch of stuff to look at here together, gang. Thanks, Dr. CS, for all the information you're dumping inside the Discord right now. Appreciate you, brother. We're going to look at a few other things right now, too. This comes from Gamma Labs. If you guys don't, we have our own Gamma suite in our Discord and on our website. But this in particular comes from Gamma Labs. Cool guy. If you ever meet him out there in the wilds, please check this guy out. We're going to look at a few other things here. We're going to look at 2-day. What are we looking at here? 2-date volume. Let's take a look at this. And we're kind of roped in right now in the next 2 days, 6980. And we got like Captain Condor's back out there again, 698 and 6990, but nothing above it. So we're kind of hemmed in here. If you want to check this out right here, this is 6980. Let me just show it to you one more time. This is 6980. So 6980 is right in here in 7,000. So like locked in right here, locked in right here. And into tomorrow, some kind of a pinning action until we get into that 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. And we'll see what happens thereafter. So this doesn't giving us too much information. It's just showing that we're pinned in into tomorrow. We're also going to look at the money volatility, I think, if we can. Yep, at the money volatility, we're going to take a look at that. I'm assuming it's expected to come up, and it is. If you look over here, volatility is expected to rise. And then when it comes back down, it's expected to continue higher. And that's the norm for the season of volatility. This is where we can lead into a spot up, vol up type situation where the market moves and ramps higher. And then, of course, once that's done, we start blasting to the downside into the weak months. The seasonally weak months. We talked about this last week too. I can get into this again if you want in the future, but there's not much to say there. Expect volatility. We already know that for tomorrow. We're also going to look at, let's look at systematic CTA positioning. See where they are. If we can. We're in this sweet ass fryer pan positioning right now. This is good to see. It's actually turning up. So dealers are willing to chase right now, willing to chase if we continue to break up and above 7,000. If we begin to go up above 7,000, dealers are willing to, or not dealers, excuse me, CTAs are willing to chase trend to the upside. Now, what is fascinating about this is they were, if you can't see this here, I don't think, but I'm going to bring this over a little bit, maybe. You can see it better just like this. Oh, wait, shit. Hold on here. Where was that? There we go. So dealers are willing to buy here and bring us higher, but also note that they're still selling here. you look closer, they're still degrossing. So I do want to talk to you about that even if you see prices going higher, there is a little bit of deleveraging in the background going on in the background of the market. So even though prices are higher right now, there is a little bit of deleveraging. And that would mean two things: that on the one hand, if the market is able to go up above 7,000, they'll chase that stuff. But on all these pullbacks, they're still willing to deleverage themselves out of the market. And that is typical for the time of year that we're in. We're also going to be looking at vol control positioning. We want to see if vol control gang's in the house. And they are in, not so much. You can't see this on the chart, but they're rolling a little bit down right now. They're getting out of their way right now. So there's potential for vol control gang not to be there. Let me see if it shows not to be there and have volatility enter the picture here. A little bit of volatility, sell the news. There's some potential for that before they step back in and support the market. So that could lead to some kind of a, you're looking down here. If, let's say we go up here, right? Let's say we're blast up, right? Go up here and we hit that 7,000. And if we have some kind of a pullback, they may not step in until somewhere down in here. They might let that volatility slip back into the market. And this is where that gamma flip is right here. So I would be patient on pullbacks. Just make sure that you're using your rules to identify that we are in fact bottomed and are improving to make our way to the upside. So there's a little bit of, I would say there's a little bit of there's a little bit of positivity on CTAs, though they're still degrossing on any kind of highs. They will still chase. And then there's a little bit of danger here with vol control gang, where they would give it up over here, and you can actually see this is middle of November, and they didn't step in until Jan 1 on SPY. So if you look at the end of December, let me just take a peek at it here. And if you look at December 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th, 31st, the market, let me show it to you up here. I want to show you kind of where we are and in terms of vol control gang. We're right about here. So vol control gain allowed the market to blast down into the first of the year, and then we started to make our way higher. And then we're in that same kind of a situation right now with you can see the nice high right here. This is probably pretty close to I would expect S&P 500 to make a new high, right? Smash it up here and then sell the news maybe after or near tomorrow's rate decision. Nice little move higher, and then some kind of a profit taking coming up into the end of month. So you would expect something like this to play out. Look at this closely here. You can already see it happening. So this move is completing right now. And this move right here is completing right now. And then some kind of a pullback in here, just like we did. Here, I would expect something like that again. And then the door opening up above 7,000 to trade 705, 710 there after the end of the month. What else do we have here? Let me go back down to this bottom right-hand side, and we're going to look at a few other things. We're going to look at seasonality. You can't see it here, but I'm going to show it to you. Yep. Let me take a screenshot of this. Hold on here, guys. I'll just screenshot it for you. Now, this is the cool stuff. And we want to look at this together because why? I don't know if you can see this here. Shit. I'm messing this up here. I don't know if you can see this here, but if you cannot, this is, you'll see that there was a big downstroke here. We're up right now. We're looking for a small pullback, and then we're looking for going vertical. I'll post this for you in the Discord, but basically we're looking for something like this. Let me just, this is up into the, let me get rid of this for a minute, 27th trading day of the year, 30th trading day of the year. We should be topping trading day, not the day like Jan 27, like the actual trading day. So this would be mid-February as a peak and then a roll. So let me show you this here. Let me explain this top line for you here. Wait a minute here. So at least seasonally, and then the way that vol control gang looks, the way that CTAs look, we're looking for some kind of up, right? A small down move over here. I can't tell you it's going to go this deep, whether it goes this deep or not. I can't tell you that. I can just tell you that there's looking for some kind of a roll down. And then we're looking into the beginning of February right here. Whatever this move is should be huge, should be giant. And I would expect it to last into either near or around OpEx for February. So we'll just draw this in without looking at anything at this point. You'd be looking at something like this, and then some kind of a down move in here, right? 690. And then you're looking at something like 705, 710, somewhere up in here. It looks something like this. At least this is at least what the market looks like right now. Some kind of a bump, and then some kind of a monstrous move in here. Seasonally. Combined with everything else, that's what it looks like. Some kind of a larger move. Now, whatever this is here, this upper move, this thing should be big time. You guys know I have call spreads on. You guys know I've got longs. I still have Ford on right now. I haven't sold anything. So this right here, this big move, this is what it looks like for all the other shit data that's out there. Assuming it's over here the 20th. Something like this. Something just like that. That's what we're set up for. There's nothing else that I can see that we're set up for anything else. The only other thing that I can think of right now is that you're probably going to make more money off of, you have the hedging that comes into play, right? You got some hedging activity that comes in here. Seems like we're all hedged out pretty nice. So you get some hedging activity. Maybe your single stocks will do better than S&P 500 while we come back down over here. And then I expect the markets overall to do quite well thereafter. So maybe you'll do better on single stocks right now, and you'll have a better chance on indexes. Let's call it February 5th or 6th, whenever the first, let's just check this real quick. So February 5th or 6th, somewhere in there, start looking for a dip again in the S&P 500 to go up. We'll actually draw this out more closer like this. Something just like this. That's what it looks like, at least right now. Push up and, oh, sorry. Push up like we did late December. Drag our asses into the first week of February. New flows hit the tape, and boom, we're off and running to the upside again. And we're running. I mean, it's good. We didn't get down deep enough out of trend. I've explained this to you guys in the past. When you're in trend, you have to significantly break down to break trend, to change sentiment, and to turn hedging flows into sell the news flows, sell equity flows, rolling contracts into puts lower and lower and lower and lower. So we're still in trend right now. It should look something like this. We're watching this show. This is how we're positioned. There's nothing that I can see right now that would stop this from happening, except for that, again, that seasonal weakness to move ourselves higher. So just a little bit of weakness coming up, and then one more rip up, 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 up. You can fucking see it right there, can't you, boys? See that shit right there? Just Rampo-Rama. Now, I'll go back and look at the seasonality. I have a seasonality calendar, but I don't have it in front of me, but I will look at it for what's the 30th. Right in the 30th trading day of the year, it should start going like this. Start doing this kind of shit in here. Maybe you catch another high in March, and then we start this bigger roll down. So it should look something like this. Mid-March. You should see this start flattening out up here. And you'll see this eventually fail late March, something like that. Could be early March, somewhere in there. You'll start seeing it flatten out up here. We'll start looking for highs to start getting short. I'll be selling out of Ford up here. If you're following me with Ford, well, I don't know yet. If I'm gonna sell Ford, what I might do is so I add money in a few days to the account. So what I think I'm going to do is maybe add some more Ford. I don't know. Maybe add some more Ford. I don't know yet. Or maybe start stockpiling cash for a hedge. Would be nice. So what I'll do is I'll add some cash on the 1st for September, for February. I'll add some cash for March. And then what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to sell calls on Ford. And then I'm going to beef up my account to buy a hedge. Sometime in March 5th. March 5th, somewhere in there. If we can be in a high on March 5th, maybe that when those new flows come in for March, somewhere, I'm either going to buy my hedge March 5th or I'll buy it like the 13th or something like that. So I'll sell calls on Ford. I'll buy a big ass hedge. We'll run this shit down for our seasonal weakness. And I think I'll be fine there. I think the account will be fine. I limited myself to $1,000 a month. So maybe like I should have like $3,500. And if I can get that fucking fat hedge, I can probably turn that $3,500, whatever that is at that point, and plus what I've made so far, I could probably turn that into, I don't know, maybe 10 or 20 grand by springtime. And then we'll turn that 20 grand for a springtime dip buy after tax season. We'll buy a dip. And then we'll buy another dip for summer, and then we're going to buy another fucking dip for October, and we're going to run it up into the end of the year. And if we've amassed enough money, if we can sell this fucking market, this piece of shit down for a few years, 1.5 to 3 years or something, we'll become a bear or something together. We can turn that into, I don't know, a few $100 grand or something like that by the time we get into the next bull market. And then we'll, if we even have another fucking bull market, we'll talk about that later. But we should, I think that's the plan right now, I guess. So if you're asking about Ford and stuff like that, or the plans for that account, still long Ford, looking to add some cash here in the 1st. Maybe we can buy some spy call spread or something. We can do that too. We'll leave Ford on. And maybe we'll buy a nice call spread with the $1,000 account challenge bullshit. We'll run this thing up with some spy call spreads. I'll have to change that account to make sure I can do spreads on it. And we'll do a call spread or something. And then we'll take the money and run in here, and we'll try to bulk that account up maybe. What else? What is the market going up right now? Is that what's happening? Someone's saying the market's going up. Sweet. I didn't know it was going up. Good job. I'm on this. The chart I'm on doesn't show the after hours. Maybe it does. I'm not paying attention. We should be up, down, up, and over. This is about what it should look like. I'm showing it to you right now. That's what we're looking for right here. Maybe you catch 720, 715. You get a high in here in mid-March. And we roll ourselves to the downside. This should be what it looks like, roughly what it should look like. Unless something happens we don't know. Yeah, it has to be something that we don't know. Oh, what else? Let's talk about expectations. Oh my god, dude, am I getting sick? Maybe I better not be getting sick. I better not be getting goddamn sick right now. I'm pretty upset. Let's take a look at. Oh, laying tight here. I got some work. No, what do I got to do here? Hold on here. Give me 1 second here, boys and girls. I can't read. I'm blind. Am I on hot stocks right now? Cool. Just 1 quick second here. Let's look at daily. Oh yeah, that looks good. I like that. I like that. That looks good. This daily looks great. 30-minute. Daily velocity looks excellent, but it looks dangerous. You know, the one thing about this daily velo I don't like this here. I mean, it looks supportive. So if price was to back test, that's supportive for more uppies. Maybe one more big move up here. You see that? This is February. Hourly looks a little long in the tooth right now. You see that hourly right here? Let's look at something really quick. Let's look at a prior example of an up. Just check this really quick here. Hold on. Let me just see something here. In 2024, we went all the way up into. Let's look back here in time a little bit. Just want to see what we looked like. So you see this right here? Look at this right here with me. We went on the February 23rd, we cranked. I want to leave this one right here. There's March 6th right there. You see this right here? You see how we went up right here and then down into March 6th and then up, up, up. What's fascinating about this too is we had like more ups on daily, but then it went down even though price was going up. We had a divergence that started on daily velocity. Let's look at this here. Just so we can see what took place in here. So this is 2024. What you'll notice is we were losing the daily velocity, but it didn't begin to roll. Oh, it rolled on one of these highs up here. We're going to snap this line too. We're going to snap that line right there. We're going to snap, yeah, both of those lines. And note here, and I want you to see this right here. Like, check this out right here. We had down into a small pullback into March 1st. Rampo-Rama on the first week. And then a dip buy on the 6th. Go back over here. I think Larry Williams likes talking about this stuff the first week that you buy it. So they're saying this right here. Or Velocity is saying, let me just check Velocity really quick. So this is saying what, up, down, right? And then up like that again, something like this. And then a ramp up here, then down, and then up again. This is saying something like this, up. Something more like this. Let's get this in here. Something more like this right here. There's your 705 right there. Something more like this. Let me just check this really quick again. Hang tight, guys. Wednesday, Thursday. It's something like that. 702.50. somewhere in there. And then this becomes support right here. And this daily trigger is going to come up here. They hit that one right there, 702.50, then 705. And this is where the door opens in here too. Right after the 30th, you get some more Vanna and like push up for the door, push up for the door, trigger call rolling higher. There's 705. Maybe even 708 in here for this is here's your 708 right here. There's your February you shall not pass right here. There's OpEx right there. And then back down again. Month and then maybe 715. Let's get rid of all this now. I just want to make sure I'm right on all this stuff here. Make sure I don't have this shit wrong. Should be. Let's just look at this really quick. There is the prior high right here. I don't think that matters. I don't think. Yeah, that might matter right there. That's where it starts to matter. No, that doesn't matter either. That doesn't matter. This matters right here. This is where it matters, right in here. This looks like we're going to play the fucking distribution game. $702.50. New all-time high. It's something like this. Some kind of failure in here, distribution game, but this holds. You hit your 7,000 next. Maybe that holds right there. Then 7,025, and then your roll. What's interesting here is it's interesting because I think we're near a spot up, vol up. I think it could be wrong here, but I think that right in there's your 702.50. I have a sneaking suspicion here from 2024, at least, in the way that everything is lined up here, that so if we get the all-time high, we come back down. We get the failure right there, come back down. This one right here, you would expect, my point here is this one right here, you'd expect this to break. You could actually do it like this too, all the way down there, all the way down there. That works. Still up there. Still something like this. What's interesting is we should trade all the way down to about here. Maybe we sweep down here. I wonder if we don't do that. I wonder if we hold this. Let me draw this a different way for you guys. There's the all-time high. There's the pullback. There's this one right here, failure. This one right there. And this is the big question. If it was any other time of the year, I might say we'd go down. There's the 6th. 3rd. I would say we'd go all the way down here. But I think there's a chance we stop right here. And then we're up here into we could start a process of spot up, vol up. And this becomes here's March right here. This is going to be interesting. This right here is going to be interesting. This should come down here, but I don't think it does. I think it's going to hold. And if that holds, this is where your distribution begins in March. You'll just do some kind of nonsense like this. There's your 715 and then a roll. And that's where you get your bigger roll that should have happened over here. This is going to be interesting in here. We don't know yet. I don't know. You don't know. But I'm thinking spot up, vol up. If we follow 2024, that's what this would look like. Spot up, vol up. Or not spot up, vol up, but this thing right here. This one right here. If you're a bear, keep an eye on whatever this roll is off 702.50. If this fucker holds, because the daily velocity looks fine. I mean, if this daily velocity comes up here and this thing holds, it's gonna be spot up, vol up. They'll leave this shit behind until like April. And that actually said something here too, which is when we talked about 640 being bottom for spring, that's what I think it is. I think 640 is bottom. Here's your 660. We're at 661 right here. You're now at 572. This will be in April. Let's just look at this really close for a minute. You got 600 right here. I mean, they're closing a fucking door on you. Got like, there's a door being closed in here. There's a door being closed. Like, there's 640. It's now looking like 650. You see it right there? Now it's higher, 648.36. Let's look at a 3-month. That's at 632. There's a fucking door being closed. How about sideways and slightly down, and then rip faces off at the end of the year? I mean, this is really looking like like push this shit up, take the money and run, and then I mean, what's like, god damn, like 648. So let's call it 715. There's the gap. That's 10%. That's 10% from 715. That's an average. That's an average correction right there. Run of the mill correction for April. Maybe one more leg down for June or October. I mean, 10% is not bad, right? 600 is 15%. Oh, yeah. 20% for 560. That all looks rational and reasonable. All of this looks rational and reasonable. There's 10% right here. 10, 15, and then 20. This is let me get rid of this. Right there. These are expectations right here. Something like this. Up for tomorrow, come back for, call it, just like that right there. All-time highs, pull it back for tomorrow, buy it back again. There's 700, like we're going to fail 700, smash it back down again. Maybe you get that one right there. Maybe. And then you finally target this. That's February 3rd, Tuesday. We roll this stuff down, and then we're going to buy it again. This is where the breakout happens. So they just start buying in here. Big, huge push, 602.50. This is the first of the month. Crank it up to the third. And the only thing I can't tell here is what this roll is here. I would even be willing to put one more up here to 705. That one red. Something like this. Up, and then up, and then up. Come into the 13th, and we're looking for that 708 and over. Something just like this. I just don't know what the only thing I can't tell here is the distribution. If it goes all the way down here or not. I don't think that it does. I think it's going to hold. I think this is going to hold. We're right here. Can't lose that, right? There's your 715 right there. This is the only thing that I don't know. Target 715.14. The only thing I don't know here is there's potential for us to not give this up. There is potential that we're like, bam, 705. You know, grind. There's a 708.50. And you're just like nailing it up here. Bam, 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 bam before the drop. I can't, this here, I can't guarantee you're going to get that. I want to show you what this looked like in 2024. And it's going to be critical for you to watch. It's going to be critical for you to watch. See right here? We didn't give up any of this stuff. See how, like, this is March 1 right here? Or here's, let me show it to you this way. Here's Feb. So we, like, fucking huge move up in early February. And then we're parked on this bit right here. And then that's it. Bam up, bam up, bam up, bam up, bam up. And so when you look at here, come on. If that's the case and we ramp up here, right? Whammo. This would become your new base right here. So you're not. So this one right here. See this one right here? About this right here. This is what I think happens. Daily trigger comes racing higher. So it's like smash, smash, smash. And 693. Maybe 691. Like that right there. I bet that's how it goes. There's one other thing I want to show you guys here. Fuck, hold on, I fucked this up. Because I don't even know if you can go. I don't even know if you're going to go under that. I'm just going to leave this here. Up, down. There's the all-time high down. 690 failure down. Slam it down. Right here. Slam it again. 702.50. Rejection. I'm going to leave it right there, just like that. And I think this is going to continue higher. Shit, hold on. And I want to show you something here. That's what I think it's going to do, something like that. Like this could be like fire in here. Well, there's your first bump right there. Something like that. Slam up, down, up, down, up, down. This is the only thing I don't know about here. And this is where the fire is right here. See this daily trigger up here? Fucking daily trigger comes up. You see this daily trigger right here? We're about to start. We're about to start. You see this right here? Like this fucking thing starts coming up like this, and it's like wham, 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 then wham. It's like spot up, vol up is very viable. Very viable. Like we just start running. We're out of here. These new fucking flows come in. This is the first right here. This is the second. Monday. Move this over a little bit. So the first flows right here at 9 a.m. Vertical. $13th right here for another high. One, two, three, four. I think this holds. I think this is going to hold in here. All this right here. One, two, three, four. It's going to fucking melt up into March. We're going to melt up. There's like a mask in the Discord right now. I see a spot vol up, melt up. You guys see it too? I see a spot up, vol up. I would be I'd pay very. I want to say say it like this. The hourly trigger would be the thing to watch. I think we should do this here. Like this would be the thing to do, is to come all the way down here. There's your Vixpiration and your. This is Vixpiration in here, but I would expect it all the way down here. This could be your potential. If the market unclenched, it would be in here. For March OPEX, but what if we don't do that? What if we just unclench to here? If we unclench in here for Feb OPEX, or Feb OPEX and Vixpiration, if we only unclenched right here, it would be fucking boom. There's your 715 right there. This is going to be big this March of expiration OPEX. Whatever this is here. And I don't think you're going to be able to get through that. I think it's going to be more like this. Melt it up. Your daily's going to come up here and probably fucking super ramp this shit. You're a bear, man. Oof. There's your daily right there. 715 target, March OPEX. Yeah, caveman. I see it. I'm gonna warn you guys. I'm gonna tell you right now. Be extremely careful here of spot up, vol up. Just gonna tell you now. Or melt up, you can call it whatever you want. Spot up, vol up, melt up into March, early mid-March. Theoretically, we should come back down into this right here, but we're accelerating right now. You can see it. You can see with the daily velocity, it's accelerating. I'm gonna warn you guys of something right here, man. You see this like right here, and then we start right here, and you can see it growing right now. Like, see this right here? We're just starting right now. So that's like whammo, 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 whammo. You just, even this right here puts us. You're like, it's up. I see the 80 down here, but that's not happening. That ain't fucking happening. Maybe you get down here. Maybe you get 87. If you're lucky. I want to show you guys one more thing here. One last thing I want to look at here. I want to show you guys, like, so here's the 600 thing right here. So I want to show you like two more theses here. When we traded 600, big fat round numbers, right? It was like reject, get out of here, right? Get out of here. 601, get out of here. And we had a failure to break out. And when we did that, it was a pretty fucking big crash, right? So here's 600, and we failed to break out and over it, and it was brutal. But when we broke above it on 500, over here, right here, when we broke over it, in this case right here, watch how this price action was. So watch this closely here, okay? On this price action here, we broke of it. We stayed on our hourly, like I'm telling you, to watch your hourly. And then we smashed to 515. And then when we rolled, that would be like 640 right here. This is 680 though. And so it's 488, 484. So what I'm telling you, like 640 would be like the worst case scenario. If we're doing like 715, we're closing doors right now, and you're gonna maybe get 640. It's showing 650 right now. That monthly trigger will go to the end of this month. Will go to 680. So let's look at that again. And then what's crazier is, look at this. Crankorama. Big summer blast down. This is the July doom. And then we moved all the way up. So let's look at this again. Are you guys following along with this? So let me explain it better to you, okay? If we don't reject 700, this is gonna be pretty big. Like, let me explain this to you a better way here. So look at it from this perspective. So if we're up and above 700, right? If we're gonna break out and up, it's gonna hold right here. This is gonna be fucking huge, because this sends us to 715, and it closes the door at 680-ish. There's your weekly trigger right here coming up. So like this would like close the door. Right now your monthly is at 650, so your monthly would become 680. So whatever this would be down here would result in, you know, like an mid-April low, and then a breakout, like a huge upside move. But what's fascinating about this too is when we hit the 600s and we failed, it would look like this. Down here. And so it would look like this when we failed the 600s. We would fail the February. If you're a bear out there, listen closely. We would fail. If we fail this and do actually retrace 680, and that daily triggers up here, and that would be a crash like last year in springtime, that 20% down move. And that leaves the door open to, or that would bring on a doorway to hit. That would mean, I mean, theoretically I would say, if we hit that one right there, you'd start looking for a break underneath. You'd get underneath that weekly, and that daily would you'd come back up here, and we'd start trying to take out the 40s, maybe even 6,000 down here. So you want to pay very close attention. I want to listen when we reel this back a little bit. No, hold on, because seriously, being serious here. See a lot of chat going hot and heavy right now. I want to say something to you guys out there, okay? This is important. When we trade up into 7,000, 702.50, 705, right? When we trade up into that, forget 715, 702, 700, 702.50, 705. When we trade into that, whatever that pullback is, historically at least, in recent history, that dip should be fucking bought on the breakout, which is 695, 700. Whatever that 705 rejection is, that should just be fucking bought. And that should send us to 715. That changes the dynamics for pullbacks or corrections in the spring and summer. If we reject that 705 and we start losing the daily trigger, you would see probably sentiment shift quickly, and you'd probably see people wanting to get a significantly larger correction in the springtime. So be very careful on that pullback on the 705. whatever that is, whatever that pullback is. But if that fucking pullback holds, it changes outlooks for the whole year, in my view. Pullback and changes outlooks for how deep we go. If it's more just sideways, 3 big trips up this year, and it could propel the markets violently up in the end of year. So just be aware of that, okay? You guys understand all this? Like, this is a crucial moment in year-end outcomes. Crucial. Whatever the rejection is on 705 and that dip, if that dip gets bought, it should materially impact all outlooks for the rest of the year. So I think this might be this is like September 17th or 15th or whatever that and not shockingly, we're coming into another rate decision. You should see, like, this will impact, I think this impacts the entire year. I think this impacts what the low is for the year. I think it impacts what you expect into the end of the year. It's trading like, or trading looking at it like, we're hitting a big round number, and then the price action right now looks very similar to 2024. It also looks very similar to, I think, 2021, which is very similar to 2024. And not only that, we also had inflation ramping in 21, which propelled the market higher, wealth effect. So just consider that. Like, this next, whatever that 705 rejection is, whatever that dip buy is, whatever that price action is, Feb March is going to set the tone for the whole fucking year, period. And if you want any historical examples, I would just look at when we crossed 5,000 and 6,000. And we had both separate outcomes in both. And we had the similar price action at the same time, too, as we do right now. This price action is very reminiscent of both of those instances. So, and in both of those instances, this was the crux right here. Whatever this back test is was the major crux. That's that spot up, vol up trade. Make sense? That's me. We haven't even began bubbling yet. I don't think we've entered the bubble. We got some shit to talk about. Let's talk about. I'm gonna give you guys a top. You guys want to talk about this tomorrow or today? This is your outlook right now. Do you guys want me to do? You guys want me to do Qs and IWM and DIA for you? I can, and then we can do maybe a private stream in the morning. I don't know. That's up to you guys. We got something to talk about. We got some big talk. I got to talk to you guys about AI, guys. Like, I got to talk to you about everything that's going on out in the world. I've spent like fucking 6 months working on this, and it's done. I had my last conversations this past weekend, and I need to talk to you guys about it. We can talk about whatever you want, but it's a long conversation. I can do a private stream in the morning. I can make tomorrow's stream all day long private. We can talk about it. Might need to be out of market hours or something, but we got to talk about it. Hey, good to see all of you too. I've been on some vacation. I got caught in that storm. I was planes, trains, and automobiles, literally. It was pretty bad. Anybody out? Okay, we'll talk about it tomorrow. How about this? I will prepare it for tomorrow. We'll have that conversation tomorrow. Here's your outlook. I'll do. Yeah, I can look whatever you guys want. Let's. You guys want to review gold and silver? I can do that too. Hold on a second here. Let's do Qs. I'll make this really quick. I think I got this figured out. I think I see all the angles here. So, I fucking think I see all the fucking angles here. I say that, and then new information comes in and fucks me in the ass. But yeah, I think that all looks the same. There's your high right here, or your high right here. You're gonna go up here and smash that. target is like 640. There's 642.5 up there. I'll do Qs for you at least. Come on. Bring it over. Bring it over for daddy. I just want to make sure I got this right in here because that gets all sloppy. Right in there. I don't even think you need more than your 4-hour here. After looking at all this. And you've got a new one right here. You can see that one right there is going to be a big player. This is going to turn into a 4-hour right here. It's not a 4 right now, but it's going to be one. You're going to smash this one right here. Should come back down. That's 635, right? $636. 637, 638.50. There's 635. Then up to 640. I think that's going to smash just like this. Let me check this real quick. So this is racing up, right? This is going to go wham, 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 wham. Man, this fucker's going to run. See that? See this right here? Maybe tech doesn't do it. Maybe it's broader market, maybe. Bam, 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 bam. going to be huge. Like this fucking thing right here is looking for like 650. Hughes is disagreeing. Target for March. This fucking thing could explode. Something like this right here. Look at this right here. See that one right here? This one came down. But look at this in 24. It just went wham, 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 wham. It went, this is Feb 1. The high is 424. Another 200 points up here. And it just ground up. Another 20 fucking points. So another 20 points puts us 660 up there. And if we do spot up, ball up, if this fucking thing just starts cranking, I don't know about this drawdown here, but maybe this saves. Price target, ready? 662.50, springtime high. It all matters if this holds. This is Q's. You should see Q's smash to 642.50 if this pullback, whatever this pullback is, whatever this is here, this should hold. You know these fucking bears are going to want this down here. These fucking bears are going to want this at 600. This is what they want. They want some kind of like a plunging action down here. I don't think this happens. I can't say it's not going to happen. I'm just going to say to that. You can see it right there. And it just goes right the fuck up there. Oh. This ends up going like that right there. March 6th. But I don't think this happens. I think it's going to hold. It's viable, but my fear in here is, what is that? All that beeping? Fuck is all that beeping? in the in one of the 6 or 5,000 scenarios, we sold this, and then it was depths of hell. In the breakout scenario, we hold this, and we just start grinding. Unless we start losing this in here, I don't think we're going down there. So there's Qs. Price target on Qs. Smash. Here you go. Here's your outlook for Qs. Smash into 635.22. Pull back on the half or hourly. Smash into all-time high. Back down onto this lower high over here at 635. Smash even higher. 640. Right here, and you're gonna get one more. You're gonna get one more push up to 642. This should be somewhere in. Push this over a little bit. Something just like this. And this should be Friday, yeah, Thursday maybe, 2 o'clock. Something like this. Nice little rollover. Come back in for a 13th dip buy again. This is Monday. And this is going to be your bottom right in here. Somewhere in there. And then up. And I don't think you're getting down here. I don't even think you're getting down there. I think you'd be lucky. I think they're gonna fucking hold it right up there. Spot up, vol up. You're gonna chase this shit. Price target 640 or 662.50 by I'll tell you when. By, and this is gonna go up here. Right up there. Up, up, up. And then you're gonna see 662.40 by when? I don't know, March 13th or something. That's going to be your big roll right there. If something changes, I'll let you know. If we see anything where like we break down and they want to, if the Bears have a chance in here, it's if the Bears have a chance, it's this cup here and this handle. But we're not there yet, so you can't really get too fucking crazy on that trade unless we're there. So I would just be watching for this roll distribution, and you're going to be trying to be a buyer in here. If we can't see the buy, then we'll start entertaining the bear, doom and gloom and all that kind of stuff, the big crashes. That's about it. That's all I can see. Okay, silver. Let's talk silver really quick. You want to do gold and silver? I hear someone talking about gold and silver. You guys want to talk gold and silver? Everybody's excited about it. You guys don't want to do gold and silver? Do want to do gold and silver? Don't care about gold and silver? Let me do gold for you. Is that the... Oh, hold on. Come on. We're going to do start here. Blow off toppy. We've seen higher highs in gold and weekly basis, just so you know. I just want you to know that we can go higher. Let's look at gold. What its price action looked like the last time we were here. And I bet it kept going up, and what it's in distribution now is what I'm thinking, but let's look and see. Woo! Woo-hoo! This is what I think it's going to be. Something more like this. We got to talk about this. I don't know if we should have this conversation today or not. I think tomorrow, maybe. We should be in some form of distribution right now with gold. Doesn't mean no more new highs. We'll talk about that in a minute here. And you got to remember too, this is a daily chart, and it cranked again in here. And there's more room for it to run. We're not at prior top yet. We're close, but not quite there. And velocity, we're not quite there yet. You can see here that they had some more to go. And we're close right there. Let me just see where we are right now. We're getting a little long in the tooth. I want to say, let me just do one more thing here. The one thing that's a problem here is on this one here, you had a lower high and monthly. On this one here, you didn't. You had a lot more ability to go up here. Let's just look at, you see how high we are right now? Now, we're not high on quarterly. We are high on monthly. We're right here. We are on monthly. Let's go back and look. There's more juice here on quarterly. And there's more juice here on monthly. Or not more juice. We're way over the top on monthly right now. Quarterly, we're not. Quarterly, we're not. Now, there's something else we got to talk about here. I mean, I don't want to talk about it today. It's a long conversation. I want to talk about it, but I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it because we're at 5,200 right now. That sounds right. Let's start snapping some things here. 5,250. Look at this together. Let's bring this down. We look at the sun on hourly really quick. Or 30-minute. Hold on. Let's start fucking around with this stuff. We still have more room to run on the upside here, if this makes sense, in the daily. We have plenty of room to run on the hourly. We're all bullish here. We're gonna look at gold. We treat gold just like it's I treat gold like it's S&P 500. You just you have more consolidation than you do in gold than you do in like if S&P is like this. If S&P is up, the big pullback, and then it's up, I notice that gold tends to go sideways. Goes sideways, then it catches up. Then it goes sideways, then it catches up. This would be gold, sideways up. doesn't take a hit like S&P does, but then it'll drag ass when S&P is outperforming, and then it eventually goes up and meets up with S&P. So 5250 is the target. If you don't know, 5250 is the target. Well, one of them, not all of them. Hang tight here. I'll give you some information here. 5250. And then 5400 there. Come on. I got a bunch of shit to draw in here. I can't be dicking around with these fucking pennies. All right, I guess we're going to be here for a minute. I fucking hate gold. Close enough. We're not going to dick around with this. This is 5400. We have 5600 up here, 500. And then 5600. This is the big boy right here. 620. 5600 right here. 5625. You guys want to know where gold is going? There's 5,000. So this is everything to you. Let me do it like this. This is your whole world is 5,000. This right here is your whole world. It's your whole world right here. So your whole world is this candle right here. This is 5,000. Oh, thanks. I appreciate you. Thanks. I appreciate the meal. I needed a home cooked meal. So this 5,000 here is your whole world. Don't care about any of this stuff down here. Don't care about this. This is this thrust up here, right here. Don't care about that. You could argue that there's a big doom danger thing down here, but it's not anything that matters right now. The only thing that matters is holding 5,000. And I want you to think about this like this right here. I want you to think about this right here. This like 5,000, right? And I want you to think about this push higher here. You're getting like you're gonna take this one out right here. I don't care if we go all the way down here at all. Don't care. There's 25. There's 30 and 42. And I even like this one up here. 56.20. I like this as your entire basis, like wham, wham, wham. You hit that 562, and then it's time for a correction. Now let's call that March. Right in there. That's what I want to see happen right here. Wham, wham, and then wham right up here. Push it up, push it up. This is the basis for everything for you. And then what's crazy about this is, do you see like that daily trigger coming up? You see this daily trigger is like velocity driven right here. Look at this. That fucking thing is gonna fucking boom right here. When you lose this right here, this is the April, May. So you're gonna get a bump here in April. Dip by in April. And this is a larger fucking, like this is your June, July, come back down into October. And then a big W. Whoops, sorry. God damn it. And this is your, here's your, and then there's your thing. God damn, I'm just going to draw it in. Fucking pissing me off. Hold on a second here. Hold on here. And here, down here, this is your, this is April 15th. You're going to catch a nice little bump up here. Nice little rip up here. You're going to catch one more low for June. So, let's pretend this is June right here. This will be your June low. This will crank it up again for July or June into July. This will be your October weakness right here. And then this is going to fucking moon. This is your W right here. You can see this, but so this is your high. This is like your bullshit for your W. There's your new high, and that's your end of year thing. So I'll just take it to a day. Hold on. Let's look at it together right here. Yep, this is your October low right here. This is going to be your end of year. And what's crazy about this is This is the July roll. This is your summer doldrums. This is your June 3rd, right here. Watch closely, gold bulls. You're going to have a failure in here. This is your April. There's your roll for April. Close that out. Down, down, down. You know, I don't know if that one is low. This is your June for July. I think you go up, though, in this one. I think it's up there. I think it's going to go that high. Personally, I do, but we'll go like this one here. What's fascinating, though, is, or what's fascinating here is, I can't tell if this one is down here or not. But I think with that higher low here and this higher high, like a higher high, higher low for October, right there, just like that. What's crazy about this is what our conversation is going to entail. Like you could theoretically say there's going to be one more pump in here. Theoretically, there's like one more craziness up in here. It's something like this: smash this 5660, consolidate. You have the low. This should be the trap here. Here comes your weekly trigger right here, or here's your weekly. This is gonna look kind of bearish as fucking here. And there's your top is actually here. And this matches up somewhat to the topping action that took place in 2011-12. And this explosive move up. Now, we got to talk about this tomorrow because there's I'll top line it for you. There's the idea that or like, you know, you got a Gen AI breakthrough or something, and you get like this excitement, and then this is the excitement and the panic. Excitement and panic. Excitement, initial excitement. Woohoo, we're going up, everything's awesome. Meanwhile, like stonks are going up, and euphoria, and then mass panic down. But anyways, this is what I've got for gold. More up, pushing. Price target right now in gold. I think we've done everything we need to do. Maybe 526. 526, then down. Up in trade 540, down. This is your basis right here, 5,000. Just keep adding. Keep adding, they'll distribute. We'll come down for the spring for a low at 4,500. Somewhere in here. And we'll clean all this out for excitement. And then consolidate and up. Something like that right there. Yeah, silver. You know, I'm not going to talk about it right now. How about this? I'll post some of this stuff for you. I got to get going here. I got to be back for 9:30. Listen, I got to talk to you guys about something, right? Let me just tell you guys something, okay? We'll make this real simple. You have, if you watch all the tape from Davos, right? If you watch CES, right? If you watch CES, we've got two chips coming out. from, was it Robin something or other, Sava Robin, something like that. I'll do a more complete analysis tomorrow, but basically you've got NVIDIA with a chip that's 10 times faster and cheaper to make or something. I've got the data, but you've got that going on. You've got two of the leading AI firms, US based, say AI is 6 months to a year away. You got damage control being done by Elon Musk, and some damning things he had to say too. Then you had Jamie Dimon and Very Fearful. All this stuff kind of matches up to what price action for gold and silver and S&P 500 is looking like for this year. You have a breakthrough on this stuff. 6 months to a year from now, that's October, December, maybe Q1 of next year. And whatever that outcome is, however, I don't know how that works. We'll talk about it tomorrow and more in depth. If governments step in, or if corporations and governments step in and they do AI slowly, but it doesn't really matter if they do it slow or quickly. It doesn't matter. And either outcome, it's either going to be bad for you over time. Maybe it doesn't hurt you as much, but how much pain are you going to take, how much pain you're not going to take. So all this like blowing off in the stock market, blowing off in silver and gold, all that kind of stuff is going to lead up to that. And we're going to talk about it tomorrow, because this isn't conspiracy theory shit. This is, your world leaders are talking about this and nobody's paying attention. You guys are all paying attention to shit that is likely the training ground for when we encounter that stuff, that other stuff. We'll talk about more tomorrow in the Discord, or in the tomorrow stream. I will be ready for it in the morning, and that's what we're going to do tomorrow. We're going to talk about this and why gold is going to rip right now, and why it's going to consolidate sideways, and why we have the potential to go moon. Like, this market should fucking there should be fear, panic, exuberance, a whole bunch of stuff that takes place between now and next year, and it could be wild. Well, I'll leave it there. We'll talk about it tomorrow in the morning. I think I'm going to make tomorrow morning stream for members only, and we'll probably focus on that. Or I don't know if I can get here early. Maybe I can get here early enough, like 8 a.m. or something. And if not, if I can't get to it tomorrow, what we can do is maybe we can do it. Because we've got the rate decision tomorrow. Maybe we'll make Thursday's show a private stream. We'll just focus on the fucking FOMC tomorrow. And Thursday's show will be exclusive for members only. I need you guys to understand that you guys need to get ready. I'm going to tell you right now, okay? You guys need to get ready for general artificial intelligence, or some form of that in your lives between now and the end of the year. If this is not the biggest fucking fraud in the world, I'm going to warn you right now. They're telling you, they're showing you everywhere, showing you in every aspect of life right now that they are preparing for it. And us plebs aren't doing anything about it. We're pointing our fingers in the wrong direction. And we're plebs. You're a pleb, I'm a pleb. And I don't know how or why you're not getting ready for this. And I ask people about it, and it's very similar to other time periods where there's not much you can do, but I don't see people just saying, "Hey, man, this is going to happen," and why all this other crazy shit is because of that. So we'll get into it more on Thursday, not tomorrow. Don't worry about that shit. Don't get crazy or anything. There are multiple different outcomes, but you definitely want to be ready in your own life for that possibility. And if it's the world's greatest fraud, I want you to think about it in two ways. No matter which outcome it is, if it's the world's greatest fraud and it's bullshit, or it's real and it's coming faster than you think, in both scenarios, it's bad. It's bad. It's just a matter of how bad is it. It's either going to be the largest fucking fraud in history, or it isn't a fraud. And the way that the duck is walking, talking, flying, and acting, they're not acting like it is the world's biggest fraud. So we'll talk more about it on Thursday. I was going to do it tomorrow, but we got fucking FOMC, so we'll deal with that in the morning. We'll get the the fucking circus out of the way, and then on Thursday's stream will be I'm gonna go over shit with you guys from like Eastern Western civilization with East India Trading Company with Western expansion, Eastern expansion, different economies, governments serving those economies, and all the stuff that's going on. And what's fucking crazy is these fucking guys are not, crazy guys on History Channel, telling you about UFOs. These are the fucking CEOs of the largest banks in the fucking world, the largest corporations in the world. They're actively telling you. And you're seeing politicians and governments acting in a really fucking weird way right now. And meanwhile, everybody else is just like, yeah, it's this over here, and that's the real problem over there, and it's because of this and because of that, and no one's pointing towards this other bigger stuff that really does matter. So, my last meetings this weekend were with people that just like, yeah, they're like, we got to talk about it because we're plebs, we're nobody. And I'll see you tomorrow at 9 a.m. or 9:30 for the FOMC, and be ready for the other conversation on Thursday. And gold and the markets all line up to this stuff too. It all like comes together, nice little bow. So I'll see you guys tomorrow at 9:30.